Good morning, everyone. My name's Matt Hubbell. I'm the sales director here at LimaCharlie, and I'm sitting this morning with John Strand, CEO of Black Hills Information Security. John, thanks for taking a few minutes to sit down and talk to us today.
Oh, happy to.
Just have a couple of questions, some things that have been on our minds lately that I'd love to get your feedback on. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about Black Hills Information Security and the specific challenges that you brought to LimaCharlie. What wasn't working with your previous process and what you were doing?
Yeah, so whenever we, specifically in our SOC, Black Hills Information Security does offensive pen testing, SOC services, incident response training. We do a number of different things. And with the previous vendor that we were using, who will go unnamed, it seemed like about 5-6 years ago, a lot of the companies that are kind of in this space, right, they made decisions, right? Were they going to move towards becoming something dedicated to larger enterprises, or are they going to be something that is more multi-tenant capability and flexible? I think that that's the key.
Yes.
And the company that we were using, they were going towards the large enterprise side. And we're very much in our SOC like an MSSP in the fact that we have multiple customers with multiple different levels. Also, when we're looking at licensing, getting down to brass tacks, the model for a lot of vendors is not flexible to work with us as we scale up and we scale down.
Sure.
And that's another problem. The final problem is we're looking at the kind of the maturity and the kind of the rapid pace of the agents. And a lot of the other agents we're seeing, they get stale. We were talking about cash cows. A lot of companies just treat it as a cash cow. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The next thing you know, you got a customer that's got a 70% CPU hike across every single system, and they're telling you to uninstall it.
Yeah.
And we've noticed with LimaCharlie, our utilization, we track it constantly, is like anywhere between 2 and 4%, depending on the config and also the quality of the computers. But it's very minimal in the environments. We haven't had any impact where it's like spiked and crashed a whole bunch of computer systems. And like the API integrations, it's literally everything that we wanted, and we were hoping our previous vendor would have been working towards 5 years ago, but they just went a different path. And we need to have that flexibility, and multi-tenant is so important to us.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just also curious, how has LimaCharlie changed your operations? Can you give us any specific metrics or outcomes you guys have seen using the platform?
So about that, it's changed it significantly because if we're looking at LimaCharlie as part of our ecosystem, LimaCharlie is part of our ecosystem. We have cyber deception working with Canary. We have network threat hunting with AC Hunter. We're partners with working with Sublime, and we're integrating things with Flare, right?
Great.
So when we're working with these different products that we really consider to be best of breed, and that's the other thing, we're an offensive company, right? I know the dirty laundry of all the products. Like, we wouldn't be using a product that we know is garbage for our customers on the defensive side. But the problem is when we're working as a SOC, an MSSP, we're an ecosystem with a number of different products, and we bring that all together into a centralized portal. And LimaCharlie works so well, like it's almost like a dream, how well it integrates, so we can pull all of that information into a centralized dashboard, correlate and fuse it with some of the other tools like email security, network threat hunting, and really get great telemetry for our customers. And also, we work with Times. We're doing some stuff with them. And the fact that it plays so well with everything is just a huge boon for us. And we love it for that reason.
That's awesome. Thank you. Sounds like you guys have had great success so far. So
yes.
Great to hear.
I'm going to tell you, transitioning, not easy. Not easy going from vendor A to vendor B. It's expensive and painful. But yeah, on the LimaCharlie side, it was great. It was great. We had a lot to try to convince our customers of it. And I would say around August of last year, we were really struggling with the kind of the politics side of it. But we turned a corner in December, and our customers are like, working with us, and they're like, you had a mission, you had a vision, we now see what you're doing. And our customers are now signing contracts, not 1-year contracts. They're now almost wanting 3-year contracts.
Wow, that's
and
great.
That really is a testament to the ecosystem and what the team has done over there.
Fantastic, fantastic. So along those lines then, what capability or aspect of working with LimaCharlie has surprised you the most?
To be honest, once again, I already talked about it a little bit, the ease of integration in the API.
Okay.
To be able to coordinate and orchestrate it always sounds complicated. And I remember when my team was talking about doing this, I was scared. I was worried about going down rabbit holes, and I'm also really concerned because of our previous vendor, they would change things that would break a whole bunch of stuff. Like they didn't really care about the data model. They didn't really care. They could change things all the time.
Yeah.
And it seems like LimaCharlie is very conscious of that. They're not just willy-nilly changing tagging of things on the back end.
Yes.
That has just a catastrophic effect. The other thing that has been awesome is LimaCharlie has, this is what actually sold me, believe it or not. You have a module for Atomic Red Team.
Yes,
You go through it.
Yes,
And
we do.
it's on your website. They got documentation. You all can see it.
Yep.
And what that tells me is that, that LimaCharlie was a vendor that wasn't afraid for people to test their product.
That's right.
If you have that type of adversarial simulation built into the tool, it shows that that tool is not afraid to have adversarial simulation done. And a big part of what we do at BHIS and our SOC is we're always trusting but verifying. And going through and validating our rule sets, because we do a lot of custom rules, right?
Sure.
And we need to make sure that those rules are firing properly and continuously firing properly. And to have that Atomic Red Team as kind of a core part of what is in LimaCharlie really, really helps me sleep better at night as the CEO of a company that's running this, because we're testing and validating all of these scripts and all the detects, and we know it works. And it's not waiting for the next hack or the next pen test to get tested.
Sure.
I'm tested continuously.
That's
so
awesome.
that was just like one of those features. And it just put me over the edge.
That's great. Interesting feature too. I would not have guessed that. I didn't have it on my bingo card.
I'm
when
an
we started
offensive
here.
guy.
I get
That's
it.
how I'm wired.
I get it. So, maybe just to kind of wrap things up, can you just talk a bit, just maybe some thoughts on who in the cybersecurity industry would benefit most from LimaCharlie, and what advice would you offer to someone who's looking at the company?
So a couple of things. We could talk about small to medium-sized businesses, right? If we're looking at the small to medium-sized businesses, we have the ability with like kind of the flexible pricing that you guys have, where it's not like you're going to pay for 100,000 units. Well, I'm only using 80,000, but you're going to pay for 100,000. We have that flexibility to onboard and offboard very quickly.
Yep.
And that's not just a small and medium business, MSSP type thing. That's a large enterprise thing.
Yep.
That spend can become very, very, very problematic. So I think that's, it works really well in both of those spaces, right?
Sure.
And a lot of our customers are large customers. And the ability for us to do via querying and a lot of the stuff just in the built-in LimaCharlie dashboard and how responsive it is amazing. Because right now I want you to think of like, what was it? We had the Beyond Trust thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
With LimaCharlie, we were able to go in and query all of our endpoints and get reports dynamically to our customers, more or less automatically.
Wow.
So our customers weren't calling us; we were proactively doing it. So if you're looking at like the way I view LimaCharlie is if you work with like an open source tool like Velociraptor, it has a lot of really cool features. I can look at services, I can look at event logs, I can look at all these things.
Sure.
It's not enterprise, right? It isn't. As cool as it is, it's awesome, but it's not enterprise scale, right? And with LimaCharlie, we have all of that flexibility of a tool that appears to have been written by security professionals, for security professionals that get incident response. And I can sit down with my team when we're working an incident, and I can ask questions like, is that service running on any other systems? Did that service execute on any other systems? What users are currently active in the environment? I mean, it's just mind-blowing the amount of telemetry and data that we can pull off of it quickly.
Yes.
And we had another customer, not on our SOC, but on the pen testing IR side. They were using another vendor, I'm not going to say who. They had all these stupid things like if we did a query, it would limit the responses to 10,000. That's insane, right? That tells me they've never used it. If I can't go from high-level alert to very granular details and like just a handful of clicks or having that data presented to me immediately, that's wasting time. And really, if you're looking at LimaCharlie, it allows my team to do all of those things quickly. The other thing that I think is absolutely critical is when you're looking at LimaCharlie, don't look at it as a replacement for like your antivirus EPP. It's an augment and it rides on top of it. And you really, I don't know how to be blunt about this, but BHIS, we bypass antivirus engines. That's what we do. And it's not some fancy trick. There's lots of pen testing companies that can do this. And I think that shows the importance of a LimaCharlie on top of that as kind of that second validation, and it can coexist in that ecosystem with our customers. So when we're trying to sell this product, we're not going in and trying to rip and replace. we're going in and we're augmenting and we're bringing a series of capabilities that they may not be getting with their EPP, that we can now support any of their EPPs. We can ride on top of it, and we can get the telemetry that's consistent for us across the board. So it's just been a game changer. I mean, I spent, I can't remember when we started our SOC services, but it's been nothing but a pain in the ass, trying to fight with our previous vendor. There was patches that would come out that would break everything. And it was, we wanted a whole bunch of features, and they were always like, yeah, it's on the roadmap. It's on the roadmap. Next month, next month. And finally, we got to the point where the SOC management was like, we're done. And they came with a bunch of promises. And to be honest, it sounded too good to be true. I've worked in this industry a long time. You have too. And as easily as it slipped in, and it just became natural very, very, very quickly, was nothing short of spectacular. And it's just been great to have you guys as a partner.
That's great. Thank you for that. I was chuckling a moment ago when you were talking about the platform. I think you said something like it's evident that it was developed by professionals for professionals. And Max, our CEO, says that, I don't want to say on a daily basis, but very regularly we talk about that internally as it being the platform for the pros.
And there's some things we can't talk about here, but we say with our customers, our team is your team is our team.
That's right.
And I really feel like with LimaCharlie, that's kind of how it works.
Awesome.
Your team is our team is your team. So once again, things we can't talk about here. They're not paying me, by the way. I want to make that very clear. Except for sponsorship, the wonderful Wild West Hacking Fest.
See?
But I like that attitude of, if I have a problem and I'm talking with your team, it's not this we're going to fight each other. It's literally, we're working together and we're solving problems, coming up with creative solutions, talking about new features and actually seeing them. It's a complete change in the way our SOC was. And also our cost, if you're looking at our cost per endpoint, I won't give exactly what it was and I won't give exactly what it is, but I think it's more than cut it in half.
Wow.
And it's enabled our team probably to be able to handle twice the amount of customers with our current staff.
That's great.
So if you're looking at this from a financial perspective, it's cheaper for you per endpoint, and it makes your team that much more effective. I don't see any reason to not do it. So it's been great.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It was great to talk with you a bit this morning.
You bet.
All right. Thanks, everyone.